Welcome to the hot seat.
Hey everyone, welcome to Hot Seat, where the questions are hot.
And we're trying our best. Today we have the great privilege of rounding off season 1 with none other than Pastor Todd / Dad.
Yes.
It's going to be a good one.
We're excited.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
We have lots of burning questions. Our audience has lots of questions.
So true. We basically just are here to ask questions on behalf of the audience.
Okay.
Get
We've
inside
had-
their brain. And
Just about a dozen nosy people that have tracked along here with us for the first season, and they want to know the ins and outs of your life, more than just what they see on stage. They want to get to know you personally.
Sure.
So what we've done with every single guest is we've started with the family that they grew up in. So tell us a little bit. We, obviously know nothing about that. So please tell us a little bit about the family you grew up in.
Yes. So I grew up in a home with a mom and a dad. I'm the oldest of 2 brothers, so I have a younger brother as well. We were there is an era of church life that we fit into: Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. I was an Awana Sparky. Just want to put that out there. It's a pretty big deal.
did you have a vest?
And I had a vest, yeah, absolutely.
With the little...
I'm so old. If you think about like how Awanas has been here forever, Awanas came to my church. It was a brand new program when I was in the 2nd grade, which is the last year of Sparkies. Not trying to, promote myself, but I got through all 3 books. Kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. In 2nd grade,
Wow.
I
You're
got
just
my
flying through.
Awana, Sparky badges and my cool vest. So I guess there
pretty
was
legit.
something on the front edge that should have shown maybe I'd be a pastor someday. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know.
were on the...
I was killing it.
You
You
were
were
on
on
the
a
fast track
trajectory.
there.
Let's rephrase. My mom was really about, you're going to do this. So.
I'm pretty sure Sky's got a trophy, a Sparky trophy somewhere.
Oh, it's a cool
She's
thing. It's no small.
very
no small
accomplished. Yeah.
thing. So we grew up in the San Fernando Valley. When I was in the middle of my 3rd grade year, like 9 years old, moved out to Yucaipa and spent pretty much the rest of childhood and through junior high and high school there. So that was I think overall, especially when I hear the stories of what other people went through in their homes, I think a pretty healthy, balanced home in a lot of ways. And I'm grateful that my parents were so, and actually I didn't hate going to church. It was a great place to connect with friends. I did enjoy learning about God. And so that was a big part. The challenge was, and we've talked about this, I felt like the things related to God's word were kind of reserved for church. I went to a Christian school through the 8th grade. Didn't always permeate back home. I had just shared this last week at a family camp that we did literally one family devotion. And it went horribly bad.
And it was
we
like, never
did it
again.
And I was probably like, I don't know, 13, 14, my brother 11, 12. And it was just my parents didn't know how to do it. It was not well received by us. And we're like, done. And so that's a thing that I probably, and hopefully we've done a little better, your mom and I, with wanting to bring God's word into all the parts of our lives. And again, not criticizing my parents. It's just that line was pretty obvious.
Well, you know what they say. If at first you don't succeed, quit.
Give up. Yeah.
Quit
That's
while
what
you're
we did.
ahead.
We quit.
Quit quickly.
So.
And what did your parents do for work?
Yeah, my mom was a Christian school teacher for 32 years. So all the time my brother and I were growing up, and we would go to whatever school she was teaching at, which wasn't always a good thing. There were some really ill-equipped and pretty unhealthy Christian school environments that we found ourselves in, but that's what it was. And then my dad had kind of every job under the sun and never stuck with them very long. He enjoyed being in sales, and probably at different seasons and different things he sold was probably good at it, and other times wasn't. So a lot of instability on that side of things.
Yeah.
What grade did your mom mainly teach?
She taught 3rd grade.
That
pretty
was
much
my
all
recollection.
the way through. Yeah,
Okay.
She loved 3rd grade because back in the day, there really was a thing where children learned cursive. And so
Yes.
that was the grade you did it in, was cursive. And she also did this really big Washington, D.C. project at the end of the year where kids would build like the Lincoln
One of the
Memorial or the
monuments
different
or-
monuments. Yeah. And they would show them off at a parent-teacher night and all that, parent night. So those were big deals to her. She really enjoyed, and she just, I think, enjoyed that age a lot. Another thing that was actually great about her too, that I often will forget, is that she was very committed to teaching kids in our local church. So whenever we had a VBS, she would teach different, and she had these things she bought at some level, but they'd be these big, like if you held it out, it was like this wide, and it would fold like a book. But it would be missionary stories of how God, and sometimes it was like 5-part stories. You'd share a part every day. Other times they were about Bible characters, but she was really committed to helping children understand God's word, not just in a Christian school context, but in the local church as well.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I remember her handwriting, and when you say that, it like comes together in my mind because she did have very, very perfect, legible cursive.
Cursive, yeah.
Which makes sense because
Yeah.
she's teaching
She
kids
taught
to
it.
write it. Because a lot of people, if they write in cursive,
It is really hard to read.
it's kind of hard to read, but
Oh,
hers
it's
was
brutal.
very legible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, our next question. Tell us about your family now.
My family
Don't
now
mess it up. Don't mess it up. Okay.
We have 2 fact checkers
may,
here, so
may include a couple of people sitting on my right and on my left. So married to your mom for 32 years as of now. And
you met her.
we met when she was in the 8th grade. Well, we met even earlier, but we kind of started dating. She's in the end of her 8th grade year. I was a 9th grade high school freshman. And we were dating all through high school and college, got married when I graduated. 4 kids, Jackson, Aaliyah, Kendi, and Ellie. And those are the kids that we got to raise in our home. And so obviously Jackson married to Sky with Hezi and Titus. Aaliyah married to Joe. Kendi married to Ty. And Ellie about to graduate from high school. So
Crazy.
yeah, we are at that stage.
Milestones all around.
When you guys were little, I could never see it coming. It was just, we are so far away from being done. And I didn't hate that, but I just couldn't even imagine, being at that stage of almost being empty nesters. It was just too far away. So
What do you
crazy.
plan to do with the nest now that you're coming into empty nest?
Yeah.
What are some of the things
Yeah.
you've been waiting on?
Well, already your mom's made this great, I think it was a room that Kendi would stay in when she was home, into a great playroom for grandkids. And so that's really fun with dress up and toys and all kinds of fun things in there. So we've already done that to the house. I think it is interesting. We're kind of with Ellie being busy this year with tennis and now work. And so she has gone a lot. So there are even some already experiences like this is kind of what empty nesting is like. Just got to admit, I'm not bummed yet.
Yeah.
So, and I love that you guys are close by. I mean, and I love that she's planning on being up at Thrive College where Kendi and Ty live. So I'll feel good about her having people there beyond the friends she makes. So I feel like those are all really good things. So I would never want to be like distanced or far away from our family. Don't get me wrong. But there's just something about your mom and I in a house alone that I'm not too sad about so far.
Which is a great thing.
So,
Yeah.
Jackson and I were talking about this the other day. I think a huge strength of the way of there are many strengths of yours and mom's parenting, but one of them is that you guys always were excited to see us enter the next stage of life. It was never like crying, oh, my babies, I can't believe they're growing up. Like, maybe you felt that internally, but we didn't often see that. You were always just excited for us and what's next, which makes sense. You're excited for Ellie's next stage and excited for your next stage too. So it comes together.
Kind of tightly
Yeah, they-
connected. And
They go together.
So tell us about what you like to do for fun outside of work.
yeah, I mean, I love spending time with you guys and with our fam. So
Right
that's,
answer.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say. Check. Now you can move on to the real
Did I-
hobbies.
Did I pass the test?
Yes.
Actually, it's a really interesting thing about me. I mean, I love watching sports. The older I get, I probably am more concerned about playing sports. I got hurt the other day. We were throwing a frisbee. So I mean, it's like the body is breaking down. So I enjoy watching and even watching it with the boys is a lot of fun. But it's been interesting. I was thinking about this the other day, and maybe in an empty nest mode, I might take on more. I don't have a ton. I mean, I actually bring home a lot of work, and your mom has for her part-time job. She'll be doing work at night, and it seems okay, meaning I don't think she's frustrated that I'm doing stuff. I'm not frustrated that she is. And then we also do a good job. I think we communicate well. Like we enjoy going to movies. That's a fun thing. And I think we'll probably get better at just that even weekly date night, not just being at home, having dinner, but like let's go out and do something. So I definitely enjoy
You're
all
a big
things with her.
audiobook guy.
I do, and when I work around the yard, that is a really sweet time for me. I'll have a book in, and I've used to be only nonfiction and all things kind of related to ministry or biographies, but I really have gotten into some fun adventure fiction stuff that I enjoy too. So, yeah, so those are I'm pretty simple and basic. I enjoy when there's opportunities. There's a few of us from church friendships and stuff. We'll go down to a game together. Usually Pastor Jack's the glue to that. But yeah, it's pretty simple and basic that way. But who knows? In the next few months, I might take up RC cars or
I
some
know.
crazy thing.
We'll
I
come
love
over
that
and
the
you'll
first
be.
example was RC.
I know.
Yeah.
There was a season I
Yeah,
tried stuff
yeah.
like that, and I was never
Okay,
could get
here's
into it.
because this is hot seat. We need you to confess something to the audience. Tell them about the game you can't stop playing on your phone.
That's a hobby.
That's your hobby.
That probably is my hobby.
Yeah.
Too much. I think it's Royal Match. I think is the name of it.
I don't even know.
I think it's
I
what
know
it
when I
is.
see it though.
I will tell you though, the reason I enjoy it so much is because, and it is, up until I probably got involved in it maybe a year or two ago, I never had a game.
He says got involved. It's like an addiction.
Yeah.
I play it a lot.
If
but-
there's a lull, it's
Yeah, I'm out on my phone. But here's why I love it. It doesn't have any commercials. And I love that. And I love that I can play around in about a minute or two and be done. Like, maybe not done all the time. But I mean, and it also times out. Like, I've never spent a dime to play this game. So when I run out of lives or whatever, I'm content to wait 30 minutes or longer. And, you know,
Can you make friends and request lives?
I'm on a team.
Can you guys give each other lives?
And we somehow, you do that. But
do
I've
you know
never,
these people?
I don't know any of them. I've never communicated to
His
any
best
of them.
friends in the world, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, spends more time with them than anyone else.
my online
Yeah.
game. So, yeah, if I gave that much attention to my family that I give to my online friends.
You give us lots of attention,
But
but
yeah, I do enjoy it, and I think those are the big reasons why. Is that it's real quick. You don't have to be on it for minutes to do something,
Right.
And there's no commercials, and it's like that's
wait,
what it
I
is.
thought of another hobby of yours, and then we'll move on to our other question. But don't you do some kind of word puzzle or something most mornings, or do you not do that anymore?
I'm in a group with some folks who do. I don't.
You just like to see their scores.
Yeah.
In the group chat.
Yeah.
They send
Every
scores.
once in a while, I will play and people go, "Whoa, Todd's here!" But outside of that, I don't.
Okay.
So,
Part of
Good
a
to know.
couple online gaming groups.
Yeah,
Something
for real.
this is something you'd only find on
Community.
Hot Seat.
I don't play Halo, so
Yeah.
it's something
No,
that-
no.
but these are my things.
The reason, to be fair, the reason I knew to ask about the extra lives as a former Candy Crusher myself, that's how that works. So I figured
Yes.
maybe it's the same.
There's got to be
it
something
does.
similar.
Okay, Dad, for us, please describe your job as a character from a TV show.
This is the closest we get to work talk.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I will say this, like I'm trying to think of who a character of this would be, but the role, like I was genuinely, I don't know what the right word, I wasn't surprised, but I was also like, oh, this is what this is. The first few weeks of being a senior pastor down the hill at Trinity, and it's some parts of that role are very obvious here as well. But I remember telling your mom, I said, I think I'm the mayor. Like that's what it felt like. And the reason I say that, and mayors don't necessarily have tons of power, but what they do have is everyone wants his ear or her ear. Like, we should do this, or we should change that, or we shouldn't do this. And I just remember new on the job, I had people coming to me out of the woodwork who haven't even met yet. They're not even on the job yet.
Yeah.
But it's like, we need your decision for this, and I'm like, whoa. So whatever.
I know, I'm trying to think of like
Cinematics.
a cartoon mayor.
No. I'm thinking Parks and Rec. Gotta go right to Parks and Rec. It's the really bubbly guy. He's the city manager. You know.
Oh, Chris Traeger.
Yeah, Chris Traeger,
Oh yeah, yeah, I know
city
you're talking
manager.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's sometimes. Now, I will say, in a lot of ways, because HCC is so big, I don't feel that way as much.
Sure.
Because people know, go to your direct report. I don't give input on all kinds of things, and that's great. I don't need to. But yeah, just something about the role in some ways feels like that.
And there's some handshaking.
Yeah.
Right?
And I
Interacting
do.
with
Yeah, I do
lot of
enjoy.
people.
And then even the idea of that kind of ambassador role to other churches, like in our Aspire network or my cohort, I'm one of 12 pastors. So that kind of actually works, like, because probably mayors get together with other city mayors and they talk about stuff. I don't know.
We'll take
But-
it. That's a good answer.
We're limited in how much we know about
I'm like,
mayors.
sure, whatever you
Yeah.
say.
If you're a mayor, drop a comment.
Yeah,
Let us
you
know
could tell us.
Yeah.
what your
No, that's
job
not what
is
it's like.
like.
Yeah, it's like that's what you think a mayor's like, but I just eat popcorn all day.
Okay, now we're getting into some great questions
All
here.
right.
Can you think of what the oldest piece of clothing in your closet would be?
That's good.
Because I know that you have some stuff in there
Some
that
retro
Yeah.
I've never
pieces.
seen you wear.
It has become retro for sure. And I can actually just like that tell you, well, can I say a dual answer?
Sure.
Part of it is, oddly enough, like when I would do some stuff with like mission strips or things, I would love to hold onto a sweatshirt or a t-shirt from that. Sadly, I don't pay much attention to them. So it's just when I come across them, I remember. But there's a great story. I got a t-shirt. This would have been when I was a youth pastor, my very first youth pastor job. So easily, 30 years ago. We were down in a place called Mexicali. We would always make shirts for our teams that were kind of connected to the theme of the whole. We were one of a group of maybe 70 out of a large group of 1,000. So we were just a group within a group. But the church wanted to make shirts for some of our leaders. So I'm talking to Pastor Oscar, actually talking through an interpreter to him because he didn't speak good English. I spoke very little Spanish. But as we're talking, he's like, the interpreter tells me, I want to make a shirt for you, Pastor Todd, and a few other leaders. Sure. So the leader, our interpreter, spells my name for him. And my name's really weird in Spanish. Very few Spanish-speaking people can say Todd. They say Todd or something like that. But the shirt that I have, it's got this great like art that you would think like from a Protestant church in Mexico. So it's got that, but right underneath it, Pastor Todd. And so I was like, oh, I love that. That was perfect. So I keep that. But then the other thing that's just more random, there was a flannel. I think it's still out there, but there was a store called Express for Men. So there's a female version.
It's
but
still
there's,
there. Express for Men
I
still
guess it's still
exists.
there. But back in the day, it was one of those kind of more, I don't know, it was,
You get the catalog in the mail.
I didn't count it, but we just go to the mall. I mean, it was at the mall.
He's
It
calling
was
you
at different
old.
places.
That's why he laughed when he said it.
Thank you. We would
Did you send in a
call-
postcard what you wanted?
We'd call people. Do you have clothes
Punch
there?
the card, send it back via
I don't
pigeon.
even think that's how it works.
I don't know.
But anyways, I got a flannel. I had a lot of, different clothes and stuff from there. The only one that made it though is this navy blue flannel. And I probably wear it every winter, at least one day. And
How many years would you estimate?
30-ish. I mean,
Wow.
Mom and I were already married, but yeah, 28 to 30 years old.
Good job,
That's the one
Express.
I can think of. Yeah.
I think that our youngest sister, Ellie, goes through your closet with some
She
regularity, and she just takes whatever she wants.
Less now, but even the other day, I saw her throwing away stuff, like giving it away for
And it was
a
your
yard sale.
clothes?
It was my clothes. That's where that shirt went. I'm like, girlfriend, you can't just take my stuff.
Let
And
alone
then
give it away.
You can go to Goodwill.
Come on.
It's like, this shirt's trash anyways.
I never liked this one.
He wasn't wearing it. I'm not wearing it anymore.
So there's truth to that.
Oh, that's so funny.
hilarious.
Okay.
You don't have a Letterman's jacket in your
Oh,
closet?
actually, you're right. That would even go further back because I would have been.
That was like,
17.
I was like, that's got to be the oldest,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that would be. So whatever the math is, 35 years, 36, whatever.
Man.
I'm honestly more impressed with the other two things
Yeah.
you had. I've never seen the Pastor Todd shirt, but I'd love to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll show it to you sometime.
Is it like T-U-D-E?
Tood. Tood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's not where your mind went.
So
when you
either he spelled it wrong, which I don't think he did, but he either heard it wrong, or it's like when I say his name, I say Tood.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Yeah,
So hey, Tood.
that's hilarious.
So
Here's your next question. What is a story that you have never told us before?
ooh. All right. So
And if you
I
start telling us when we've heard, we're just going to go,
gotta- that's. Did you do that to other people?
No.
That's
no,
rough.
nobody else
This
that
is-
we've been like,
anybody
most
could,
of their stories we
anybody
haven't
else
heard.
could just
Yeah.
like pick a story, you know? This is we're trying
man.
to give people a
It's hot seat.
hot seat.
All right, I'll tell you just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It's a weird one, but I don't think I've told you this before. I'm a kid. We live in Yucaipa. My grandmother still lived in the San Fernando Valley. We're driving home one night. For whatever reason, it's me and my brother in the back seat, mom and dad in the front. For whatever reason, somebody had given them, think of like a carnival and the most audacious, gaudy, big stuffed animal you've
Okay.
ever seen. That's what we have. It's not of a particular character, but it's something. So we're sitting in the back of the car
With the stuffed animal.
and the stuffed animal goes the full length sideways. So you could almost like sleep on it, like lean on it. So we're doing that. We're driving home. I know exactly where we are now. Every time I drive past it, it kind of clicks in my brain. But it's in Ontario, like west of the freeway or the airport, so that part of town. And as we're driving there on the home that night, I think we're in probably the middle lane of 3 lanes, and I'm asleep. But the next thing I realize is the car is going sharp right angle sideways to the right, and I wake up mid-turn, and we go off the freeway into some ivy, and then finally come to a stop. So no one else in the accident, and just us. But what had happened was a car way up in front of us, I've never heard of this happening, the whole wheel came off, not just the tire, the whole wheel. And my dad noticed sparks and noticed him slowing down. But then when he looks ahead, the tire's coming at him on the road, just bouncing on the road, hits the front bumper, sends us careening off the freeway. We should have hit someone in the lane next to us, but there was either no one there. And then we come to this stop in the ivy. And so ultimately we get when I say police escort, they get behind us and they stop traffic. You've maybe been in one of those. So a tow truck could back us out, and our car drove home. We had a dent on the bumper. Yeah. But other than that, it drove fine. So that's just like off the top of my head, weird story.
That's a great story.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. Never heard that
I was ready.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to.
Yeah, we had the ready to go. That's a good one.
But my brother and I felt really, and this is before airbags and that, like the stuffed animal saved our lives because it was so, nobody was deathly hurt. But either way, I thought, the stuffed animal was,
Thank you,
you
God,
know
for
that
the
there
stuffed
weren't
animal.
rear airbags in that car.
No,
for sure, no.
Nor the front.
Yeah.
But I remember, and I think my dad would say that probably at least 1 or 2 tires on our left side came off the ground once we hit that to make that turn.
That is so
crazy.
Sharp,
so, yeah.
Wow.
Wild.
Good story.
To tell about it.
That is good.
Okay. This is in a similar vein, but completely different.
Okay.
You have a time.
Like
You have a time machine, and you can go back in time and change one thing in sports history that occurred in your lifetime.
Oh.
What would you change?
Okay, so one thing in sports history in my lifetime. Well, I guess the most right comes to mind would be to go to the Astros stadium and find the guy banging on the trash can and just beat him up. Yeah.
This is a really shocking show of violence.
Because it's so frustrating
it's fair.
that the Dodgers lose to the Astros while they're cheating and they're giving signs from the catcher, from our catcher, so the batters knew what pitch was going to come in. So wrong, and so wrong that they end up winning the World Series. I think in 7 games. So, I mean, it was, and no one ever took it away from them. That seems wrong. When you're cheating, and the only thing you get is a "Don't do that again, Pete." That's not right. So. That's probably the first one that comes to mind. Sorry for the violence, but I was like,
I know you to be a pacifist. Usually, this is shocking to me.
The guy with the trash can, man, you can't do that.
If you were a Dodger fan, you'd understand.
Yeah, you'd see that.
You would.
I have a different set of problems.
I was. That's
not necessarily winning the World Series, but
I was thinking you would go to Calipari and Derrick Rose cheating in
that's
Memphis.
another. So cheaters is really those cheaters
are
took
prosper.
away
because UCLA was headed for the championship.
It was nice that years later they vacated their win and UCLA got the win, but it didn't matter. You didn't get to play in the finals. So
I think we should get all those old guys together and replay that championship game
now. Get those 2 teams together.
Because I want that championship.
Well, you know what they say, guys. Cheaters never prosper except in sports.
Yes,
right?
This is true.
Yes,
this is true.
That is true.
Okay, our next question for you. Describe each of your kids as an ice cream flavor.
It's well known that you love your kids.
Yeah.
And it's
And
well
love
known that
ice
you
cream.
love ice cream.
This is true.
So,
But
You
wait,
have to
so
rank
is this
that
a
at the
unique
top.
question for me, or have you asked other people?
We've asked other people to describe their kids, but not as ice cream.
Not as
Not
ice
as
cream.
ice
But you
cream.
know I love ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would say that's your top dessert, right? Ice cream.
Yeah, generally, yeah, for sure. All right, so I got to get my head on for who I would put in what category. I'm going to do it in not particular
That's
order.
fine.
How's
You can
that?
do it random.
Okay. So this is so brutal because you know that what you're hearing, and Kendi and Ellie are going to listen in. I would say for a season of her life, not true now, and I think she would agree with me, I would say for Kendi, Rocky Road.
I felt that one coming.
So just the 5 to 13 thing, that 8-year stretch was kind of rough, and I think she would also admit that.
Rocky Road.
But I would say not any longer. I don't know, no sensing of that beyond that.
Now Rainbow Road.
Sure, let's go with that, Rainbow Road.
I was going to say, or just no almonds, maybe. Yeah.
For Ellie, I'm just trying to think of what kind of, I think, what's when we would get the pints on vacation? What, Ben and Jerry's, is that what that is? I think there's a kind called the kitchen sink. So it's just like
That's a great answer.
Throw it all in there. Ellie has all kinds of interests in all kinds of ways.
That's true. She's like a new hobby every couple weeks.
Yeah, and she's actually usually pretty good at what she tries.
She picks it up really
it's hard
quick.
to maintain it. But I would maybe that is that
That's
fair?
a good one,
That's
yeah.
what I would say. I think for you, Aaliyah, I would say what comes to my mind, I would say mint chip.
Can't wait to hear the explanation.
Yeah, and I'd say because when I think of mint chip, the people who enjoy it, I enjoy it on occasion, but the people who enjoy it, I enjoy you all the time. I'm just saying why this flavor. Sorry. You're waiting for me. You're waiting for me to misstep.
That was such a mint chip thing to do.
Okay, I'm ready.
But here's why, because
Okay.
it leaves a great taste in your mouth.
Okay,
You know, you
I'll
don't
take
need to
it.
have a mint because you've had mint chip ice cream, and it's got more. It's got this great fundamental good thing like chocolate chip, but it's got this extra pizzazz of mint chip. So it's beyond just simply where chocolate chip you go. That's somewhat of a basic thing. You have that basic fundamental thing, but with a lot of pizzazz, and they bring
Can
the
you
mint.
tell to the camera so Kendi and Ellie know that I'm not basic?
You are not basic.
You heard it here first, girls.
So mint chip. What did I say for Jackson? I would say
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'll tell you guys what.
maybe I'd say this. I would say that one of my favorite flavors was chocolate malted crunch from Thrifty Ice Cream. I think that because it's again got some things that would fundamentally sound like chocolate chips and chocolate, but you add in a malt ball, right? And that just kind of throws it in a new direction. And so I feel like that would probably describe you in a way.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
He said, and this is what is long suspected in the Arnett family, one of my favorites, and he used that to describe Jackson.
Something about the ice cream flavor.
Right. We all heard it.
Not
Something
everyone
connected
knows.
there.
Not everyone knows what chocolate malted crunch is. So
I every year when we get home from camp, Joe and I go to Thrifty's and I get a scoop of ice cream.
What flavor do you get?
Well, if I'm feeling crazy, I do get chocolate malted crunch. I can't normally, not gluten free.
Yeah, that's true.
Last year I got rainbow
After
sherbet.
camp, you're like, I earned it.
After camp, I'm like, whatever goes.
I'm feeling bad already. Why not throw that into it?
Why not
I'll
add it?
barely feel it. Okay, you want to ask the next one, Jackie?
Yeah, what would you be doing if you weren't a pastor? What would you be up to?
So, like over the years, right? Early on, probably like late junior high, high school, I really wanted to be a DJ. I thought that'd be super fun.
This is news to me.
Yeah, and I would say to my mom, like, my DJ name will be totally tubular, Todd Arnett. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, that was all. Tubular was a great word in the 80s. So that sounded fun to me. And it was probably because that was my only outlet of, I had different seasons of listening to music, but when I'd listen to like pop, like top 40 music, there was a guy in LA named Rick Dees, and I thought he was just a good DJ, like the way he handled that role. So I thought that would be fun. A little bit later, when I started dating your mom, and I'm like, I need a solid job. You've heard the story. I'm like, I'll be an accountant, which just cannot begin. I love accountants, and they do great things, but I could not be one.
Yeah.
So oddly enough, I thought that's what I should
Feels
pursue.
a little like throwing a dart at a board and just wherever it lands, count.
Yeah, I took an accounting class, and it wasn't as
liked
random.
it.
I took that class. I was relatively okay at it. So that's where that came from. Otherwise, it would have been whatever, steady, solid. And to be fair, like I said earlier, I wanted something to be steady.
Right.
My dad was not. And so I was like, I want to be that for my family. So that's probably those two motivations of steady and also something that could provide. I was thinking of that on that front. in like a later stages of life, I don't even know. Like there's something about, we would joke when I was here 1.0, Pastor Jack would often say, we're not good for anything else. This is like all we're good at, and I think there's some truth to that. Like I don't know what my future will be, but even if it was something not in a church, it would probably be in a parachurch kind of thing, like teaching at a thing or being involved in a ministry, company that does acts. So I just feel like that and I wouldn't have thought that my whole life. I didn't even feel that real strong sense of ministry calling till my freshman year of college. But since then, I don't know what else I would do with myself.
Yeah.
So
That's a good answer.
That is a good answer.
Totally tubular, Todd.
The DJ thing, yeah, that caught me by surprise there.
I can see it, though. I still can see it. Okay. When in your life did you feel the coolest? Either a season of life or a situation where you were like, yeah, I'm pretty cool.
Well, can I change the phrase a little bit? I
Sure.
would say felt comfortable in my skin.
Well, wasn't the question, but sure.
Because they actually go together for me.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, I think all through junior high, high school, most like everyone, I'm just trying to fit in, I remember, oddly enough, I've always been very interested in shoes. And so my very first pair of Vans was a big deal. I went to this, like I said, pretty dysfunctional Christian school, had a class of like 17 or 18 kids total, and of them like 12 were boys or 14, like there's a big boy population versus girls. So in my grade, there were two guys who kind of ran the cool thermometer, and it was always about certain kind of brand of clothing, and then Vans was the thing.
What kind of Vans? Like slip-ons?
Well, here's the deal. So they would probably wear slip-ons, the very like classic look, because back in the 80s, that's all there really was.
Right.
Yeah.
They had different patterns, but there weren't all the different types.
Right.
They didn't call them classics then, they just called them Vans.
These are Vans.
What is known as today as old school,
Yes.
or the school,
Got it.
like that day. And sometimes checkerboards or whatever, that was the big deal. Well, I save up enough money. My parents are going to say, oh, we would have paid $20 for shoes, whatever you add to it. So I'm like, cool, I'll do that. So what does Todd do? I don't get basic Vans. I get high tops. The really cool two-tone blue high tops. And I thought they were just amazing. So I'm going to go to school and I'm going to be cool and I'm going to show, hey, Todd showed up. Show up on a Monday. Like any new pair of shoes, they sparkle. They're so bright, And my friends were like, seriously, of all the Vans, you're going to get those? And I'm just like, just crushing because you want to fit in so bad. And you're like, nope, you don't get to fit in.
Brutal.
So I felt like that all through pretty much junior high and high school. But I think on the other side, probably being early married, being in that youth pastor role, so like early 20s, I finally felt comfortable in my skin. Where it's like, I'm going to choose to look like this, wear this.
Because you want to.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about what other people think, and I really was consumed by that before. So feeling comfortable in my own skin, then I could feel like, and I like the way this looks, so I feel cool, I feel good in it.
And I will say the two-tone, the black and blue Vans, in my mind, are so you. Because you still had some.
I have a low cut pair.
And
yeah.
I have a pair
You have
as
a pair
well.
as well. So it's kind of a cool thing. So I do
Iconic
like
now.
that.
And
Colorway,
you
and I
are
like
on the
that.
way there, I think, because you're big on Vans.
I'm back on my Vans game. I'm
We're a
not wearing
matter
them
of-
today, but
I'm wearing Vans today.
yeah, there you go.
Slip-ons. They're clean right now because they're new.
You do
Nice.
good.
I get a lot of comments on these.
What do
they're so
you
clean.
envision? I've heard you say recently. You're like, oh, I'm kind of realizing I'm on the back nine here of my time as at least in career.
Back nine
ministry.
is a golf metaphor, right?
Yes.
Let's try a different metaphor that's not sports related.
Okay, sorry.
In the fall, moving into winter.
Sure. When you said back nine, I didn't know if people were going to hear that and think you meant literally like 9 years or something.
Oh, yeah. It's a golf
And
metaphor.
I'm trying to include people that don't like sports, such as myself.
You've eaten the hot dog at the turn, and you're now moving to the. This is a thing that people do. They get through 9 holes, they go back to the golf shop, they get a hot dog, and then they go play the next 9. So
Right.
you've eaten the hot dog at the turn.
We're just digging in
You're
on the
that.
golf thing. Continue. Go ahead.
Just
Go ahead.
explaining
No,
it.
no,
like
it's
not
good.
helping.
Trying to help
It's
you
good. It's
understand.
good. No, I understand.
So as you think about a future of retirement, what are you going to be doing to fill the days, do you think?
Yeah. Well, oddly enough, I've been, and I told you guys this, people have all kinds of interests in different things about ministry, because ministry has a lot of angles to it. It's not just one thing. And oddly enough, when I went to Oregon to be a youth pastor, so I would have been like 27, 28, I became very interested in what pastors do when they're done in a local church. Partly because I wanted when I came, my pastor was like 62, and I really wanted him to finish well.
Yeah.
And so out of that heart to go, how do you finish well, and what do you go to next? So one of the lessons I've watched, and I've watched this in Pastor Jack, Pastor Tom, and definitely deeply wanting them to finish well. But when you say finish well, I just mean finish well in this role in this church, not finish their ministry, not finish life. And what's been great to see is how many of them, that's been really key, is I do have something to go to next. I want to go to something next. It doesn't have to be full time and every day and 50 hours a week, but I want to have, and maybe you need to have. So I guess for me, one thing we've talked about before, I'm hoping that even, I'm doing my doctoral program for a host of reasons, but one of them is I would like to be eligible to teach at a college level. I don't want to be a full-time professor. I'd love to be an adjunct, and I'd love to teach real practical ministry stuff. Like, I don't want to talk, it might be fun to teach something in theology, but I love teaching either a book of the Bible or like practical ministry tools, because I feel like I actually know something about that.
Yeah.
So whether it's that, I am in the end of doing a first kind of a consultation thing, very low, just small scale, but I'm really enjoying it. And I feel like the things that I'm being asked about, I have a reasonable answer. And then the great thing is the person that I'm coaching is taking them and putting them into play, and they're bearing fruit. So I'm like, oh. So yeah, things like that, and especially where you could say, I want to frame it around this time, and I want to have this time available for you, for your kids, all those things. That seems like heaven to me. So that's kind of where I see that going, and who knows what the Lord will bring.
Yeah, that's cool. I also wanted to know, in this hot seat format, about a PTPP, a Pastor Todd pet peeve. What's something that gets on your nerves? It can be small.
Yeah. I wish I could think of a smaller one. There's plenty, I'm sure, that are. Here's a more, I guess, medium one. It is just hard for me to be around an Eeyore person that drains life out of me, because I feel, and it's not like I hate them or whatever, but I just think I probably, like when you do some of those different personality things, and you don't want to surround yourself with people just like you either, don't get me wrong, but I'm the otter. Like, I love to play, and I love to have fun, and so when there's that just kind of wet blanket, it is hard for me. It's not like I can't stand it, but it's like, okay, kind of a thing. So that might be a little too real.
Too real of a pet
I can think of a more basic one, like
I'm sure you have
people chewing gum.
Yeah.
on the road. You probably have some pet peeves. People that drive randomly really slow.
Yeah, driving the fast lane really slow drives
Gee,
me.
now he's getting
Yeah,
fired up.
don't get him started.
Don't
get him started.
So I'm just like, bro, just move over. Like,
Yeah.
this is not where you drive
Some
that
of us are
slowly.
scared of changing lanes, okay? We get in a lane and it's like, I'm going
So I
to
would
take
say
this to where I
get
need
in
to
the
go.
far right lane and never move.
But then
That's
there's a big
perfect.
truck, it could hit me.
That's okay. You'll be all right.
Just don't get in the fast lane.
Okay, I have a question. Let me give you a scenario. You're at Dodger Stadium, but you're there. Okay, 9 innings. You know what? For the heck of it, let's say 10 innings.
It's gone extra
innings.
innings.
Extra.
Okay.
I want you to describe to us when you would take a food break, what foods you would get, and it's an unlimited budget.
Okay.
So don't feel like you need to be like, well, we know it's expensive. So just
Yeah.
in this scenario.
No, it's great. So where we tend to sit is down the third base side, and that's really close to getting into the center field area, and the center field has great food. I love their barbecue place. They have a taco place, they got a burger shack, a Shake Shack, and good food. But I really love their barbecue a lot. So they do have, this is insane, and I think it's meant to be shared, I hope. But the last couple of years, they've changed a couple of things, but they have a barbecue platter that sells for $50. I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
Have you guys ever gotten it?
No, I've wanted to, though, to get it to share with someone. I go, 25 is reasonable. We can do that. But there's no way. And it is a massive amount of food.
I mean, it's unlimited budget, though. So you could
Yeah.
get it just for yourself in this scenario.
Yeah, I shouldn't, though. That's too much food to eat. But yeah, I'd try to like maybe get that, maybe share a little bit, but not all of it. Share a half. And then maybe go down to Shake Shack for a chocolate shake. So
What are your breaks in the game? Like, when would you go?
Honestly, this is the way I'm wired. I'd want to get there early enough to get that and even go sit in the center field area that has these like tall tables. It's harder to sit at your own chair. So I'd get it before the game.
Even the shake.
Yeah. But then what I'd probably do...
this is what I don't understand about sports fans. You're giving yourself nothing to live for here. You're just sitting there
man.
for
but here's
That is
3.5
so the
hours.
right move. You want to get up and like miss 2 innings of the
I'm
game?
like, God,
And I've
please
done
let there
that
be
before.
2.5 innings
Yeah.
gone by the time I come back. Please.
Aliyah's wishing for that. Waiting in line for food, that's a good use of
Like,
time.
Sky,
don't
let's
want
go
that.
get cookies. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
But I will say though, even though that sounds like now this is like a dessert overload, that same barbecue place has Dole Whip. So I might go back in the 6th inning for Dole Whip.
You cannot say the words dessert overload for me. There's no such thing. You can't have
true.
too much.
No.
Am I right?
Never enough.
Okay, I have one more question. I don't know if Jackie has any more.
I'll give a final.
You'll
after
rustle
yours.
one up?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to think about, this question has a theme. When we're recording this, we are going to Disneyland this week, our family.
Yeah.
Favorite amusement park ride? It doesn't have to be Disney. It can be any amusement park that you've been on.
Oh, okay.
Roller coaster,
Yeah.
right? You could pick Peter Pan if you so choose, Winnie the Pooh.
Peter Pan
I'm
is
not,
a
I'm
great
not
ride.
limiting you to
great
have
ride.
to be roller coasters. I'm kind of expecting it to be a roller coaster, but if
Yeah.
you love Nemo's Submarine Adventure,
Go for it.
go for it.
Go big. I will say, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do a Pastor Jack here. I can't just say one, so I'm gonna
That's
give you
fine.
a couple. I love going on the Spider-Man ride. I can't wait to do it this week with Hezzy because I love to shoot webs with him. That's really
And I've
super
never
fun.
been.
You will love it. It's really fun. So
Expectations are high.
You
that
gotta
is-
sit with Hezzy.
yeah, that'll be fun.
We can't, this is the problem. There's a lot of adults going. We can't all sit with them.
I know, but for adults who already have, I'd be willing to let you have my seat so you could, because I
on
want
record.
you to. So that's super fun. I do love the Star Wars experience ride over on the other side of the park. It's like so next level of like immersion. But I will say this, I have been on, I think it was just the two of us. I don't know if you would have gone, but when we years ago went to Epcot, you guys were just little. The ride that kind of blew my mind because we really didn't know what to expect. And Epcot doesn't have tons of rides, it's mostly experiences. But there was a ride in this part that's more like, I guess, like Scandinavian or something. It's like snow, lots of snow. And we didn't know anything about it. And we get on it, and it's a good roller coaster, just doing our thing. But it comes around the bend, and there's track missing. And we've never been on the ride before, so we literally don't know what's going to happen. And I'm going,
We're gonna die.
I know they know this is they're going to make this okay, but I literally don't know how, because we're coming at it pretty quick, and the thing all of a sudden comes to a quick stop and goes backwards, and I was like, oh,
And there's a
mind
Yeti
blown.
chasing us.
yeah, Yeti's there too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a better version of the
Matterhorn.
It's its own kind of thing. But that was pretty great. And I think the reason why is because I didn't know what I was to expect.
So that's like this, the fear factor is up even more.
Yeah, and generally wouldn't say it true about every other ride because I've been on somewhere like I'll never do that again. But that one in particular I loved.
Let me give you guys an Aaliyah pet peeve that I thought of while you were talking.
Sure.
The Star Wars ride, whatever it is
Rise
that
of
you were,
Resistance.
I don't want to sit in line for an hour and a half and then go on a ride and be bullied by the staff. I know it's their job. They're supposed to be like, what are we? Rebels?
No.
And
Well,
they're-
we are rebels. I
They're
guess.
the
they're-
first order.
Yeah,
or
they're first.
Whatever.
order.
This is another thing I don't understand. But I've been sitting in line in the sun for an hour and a half. I took Ellie to Disneyland. We're there, and the guy's like, "What planet are you from?" And I'm like, "Earth." He's like, "Oh," I'm just like, "Leave me alone!" Like, I just want to walk through.
Should have just said Tatooine, man.
I just am like, "Geez, you have to be a nerd to go on this ride and have this conversation with this guy." And he's like, "Stop talking." I was talking to Ellie. I was like whispering. So that's my Aaliyah pet
You're like,
peeve. I don't want to be.
What planet am I from?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to be. And then Ellie was making fun of me all day. She'd go, Earth, all day long, Earth. I'm like, okay, the guy was so mean. So that's my pet peeve that I thought of when you
That's
were saying
fair.
that. But I'm glad you like that ride.
I do.
Okay, what's your
My
last
final
question?
It's well known that you are a fan of the UCLA Bruins.
Correct.
It's also well known that they will likely never win a national championship in football in your lifetime or mine.
That's true.
That being
I'm
said,
holding out hope for Hezzy and Titus.
yeah, fingers crossed. That being said, what would you give up for the rest of your life to see UCLA win the national championship?
That's
How
a great
costly? How costly of a
That's a
thing would
great
you give up
question.
for the rest of your life?
question. Oh man.
He's like, I could live without a house.
Well, like this might sound like not that high of a cost because we don't live where this is, but you guys know how much I love Carolyn's coffee cake. I'd be willing to never eat another bite
Never
of Carolyn's
taste
coffee
another.
cake to get a national championship.
Yeah.
Just kind of a high call. I mean, we don't get it every day,
That's a
but
high calling. It's
but
true.
when I love their coffee cake for
That
sure.
is a high cost. I was wondering if ice cream would breach into the conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. about
Too
that.
too far.
Well, how long?
It's too important.
Here's
to me.
here's something I will say in regards to sports. How long would you feel excited about them winning a championship? A few months? Maybe a year?
To me, I think that the longing increases every year that they suck. You know, it just grows. And
Right,
it's like,
but I'm saying the
this is gonna be-
satisfaction.
on the other side of it, it's weird,
It's not
Aaliyah,
gonna
because I
last that
feel
long.
like even you would never expect to repeat that. So even the best teams don't do that. So in the next year, you could at least go, but hey, we won this.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem right now. You can't say that.
Yeah.
I'll just
We've never
say
done
to
that.
you guys, as someone on the other side of this, where the Angels used to be good and now they're terrible, we're not like, woohoo, they used to be good. They won a World Series in 2002.
I get that, but like you've had like all of Mike Trout's career, who's supposed to be maybe the best baseball player of all time. I keep thinking it's funny how the Angels keep coming up on hot seat too, by the way. This is
It's the only
come up a
sport
lot.
I understand.
But like that's devastating because you've not done anything with a really great baseball career. For UCLA, it's like, who have we had?
I
You
think
know,
just
Dorian
in a more
Thompson
macro way
Robinson.
about sports, I eat ice cream probably 100 times a year. Would you say you're about there? Maybe a little higher?
Maybe even more.
Yeah, he's got to be higher.
So am I going to be thrilled enough about sports to make those 100 times per year worth it? No. I could not give up ice cream. So I stand in solidarity with Dad. I would not give up ice cream. The satisfaction does
That's
not
fair.
outweigh.
I didn't know how intense the longing
Carolyn's,
was.
how many times do you
know?
have Carolyn's year? 3 maybe?
Yeah, that's
can
I
endure
measured
that.
that on
Uh-huh.
purpose.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
that's
It's
I
good.
measured that.
Think
Smart.
about how much we're eating ice cream.
It's fair.
Not worth it.
It's fair.
Well,
Well,
thank you for coming on Hot Seat.
yeah.
You're welcome. Glad to be a part. Thank you for being kind with your questions.
And you're here on the finale. This has been Hot Seat. So we need to know there in the comments, would you like to see a season 2 next summer? Would you like to get to know other members of our staff?
Yeah, do you have any requests?
Yeah, would
Who
you like to
wanna meet?
name names, name questions, things that you want to know? All 12 of you. It's been a pleasure journeying on this adventure with you throughout the summer. But that's all we have. Thanks for joining us for season 1 of Hot Seat. It's been a pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know some weird details about some random people on our team. And we'll catch you next season if you want it. Let us know.